was a bright and sunny day in the southern part of America, but there was too much tension in the air for my family and me to take in the weather. We were at a slave auction, and we were the slaves. Sold! The auctioneer's words came out of his mouth like a rocket as I watched in horror as two fat men dragged my mother away and threw her into a wagon. James, she wailed. It was hard seeing my mother go. I knew there was only a small chance that I would ever see her again. Sold! The word scared me. Two men dragged me by my arms until I thought they would tear right off. Just then, they walked into a yard with many other slaves. They said that they wanted me to spend some time acclimating. I figured that they meant it was time to rest, but instead they tossed me into a small cellar and underneath the basement. I figure I've been here for days. It was dawn, and to pass the time I thought of all the jobs these men were making the kids do. There was a cook, a gardener, a crack. What was that? Chop, crack, creak. A small face flashed a shy smile at me. The cellar door creaked open wider. I could see that he was trying to be quiet. Come, he said. You can trust me. How can I be sure of that? I questioned him. Who are you, anyway? My name's Freddie. Just trust me, please, the boy responded. I hesitated. It was one of those times in life when it's hard to trust anyone you come by. Shh, just come, he whispered again. Master Thomas woke from his sleep. He thought he heard somebody open the cellar door. He sat up and looked out his window, and what he saw brought a look of disgust to his face. Those darn kids, I knew they'd try to run sometime soon, he mumbled under his breath. Tom, Jerry, grab me gun, boys. We got us some runaways. Freddie and I were on the run to survive. We were almost past the fence. I wondered what I would do if I made it out alive. Where would, bang, a gunshot? Who would do such a thing? I looked back. Freddie! Freddie was screaming in pain on the ground. Had he been shot? He had been. I picked him up and carried him across the fence. A cave. I turned and ducked into the opening. I examined my friend's leg the way my mother had done it. It wasn't good. Oh, he moaned. What happened? You got shot in the leg. It's bad, I responded. How bad? He asked. His voice was shaky. You may need to stay off it for a while. No, we need to leave tonight. If we don't, well, our best hope is that Master Thomas will only whip us 100 times. He got up immediately, but sat right back down. I could tell no matter what, he was going to leave tonight. I'll see what I can do. With that, I walked out of the cave. Oh, what should I do, Lord? I prayed. Are you even there? What have I done to deserve this? I snapped a stick off a branch. I entered the cave and found Freddie sleeping. I decided to get some rest myself. I woke up the next morning to the sound of birds chirping and dogs barking. Freddie! I screamed. They have dogs! Freddie bolted up, got to his feet, and ran for his life, not even thinking about the pain. I took off after him. Splash! The water clapped against our bare feet. I could tell every step of the journey that Freddie was trying to cancel out the pain of the bullet shell gouged in his leg. We kept running all night until we saw a face sticking out of an old damaged door of a small house. Come in, she said. Freddie and I hesitated, but then stepped into the small doorway. You look hungry. Come and eat some stew, she offered. Freddie and I sat down at a tiny little table in the middle of the hut. She must have seen Freddie wincing, because the next thing I knew she was telling Freddie that the longer the bullet was in his leg, the harder it would be to take it out. I could tell that Freddie would jump at the chance to get the metallic fragment removed from his leg. I woke with a jolt, looked around and thought, ah, what a beautiful morning. Then it hit me. Where's Freddie? Oh no, we were almost to freedom and Freddie wouldn't be there with me. What's the matter? A voice whispered. I turned around. The shell from Freddie's leg wasn't there anymore. You boys must be getting on your way now. The Ohio is just a few miles up from here. There's a boat you can use to cross. Thank you for your hospitality, ma'am. And with that, we were on our way to freedom. We got to the Ohio River by nightfall. Freddie spotted the boat up the river a ways. We climbed into the small canoe and rowed as fast as we could. We were so close to freedom. Bang! I did the last thing I thought I would do. I looked back. Master Thomas. He shot again, and this time he hit the boat. "Row faster, Freddie," I said. "The boat has a leak." We had to make it. We were so close now. There was only a few yards until we hit the riverbank. Almost there. Yes, freedom, at last. One day, while we were at the market, I bumped into a young lady and made her drop her dried goods. "Oh, I am sorry, miss." I bent down and picked up her groceries and looked up. "Mom?" I said. I was one of the most luckiest people on earth. That day, I was reunited with my family. And the author of this is Christian Hartfield.